Hello together. Today I have two wonderful speakers talking to you about wealth and true joy from your heart, the joy of your heart, and how this can be connected and does not have to be one or the other. And from my learning and understanding as a coach, from the experience and from my education that I got, for me, I understood that we are materialized selves. We are energy that is materialized in our form, in our body. So this world that we live in as this material human being creates material things accordingly to what we are. We are material, so we create material things. And if we have the true joy of creating material, like for example helping, really have that intention behind to help someone or even a huge society. It can be that you have this vision in your head that you would like to switch, change, or recreate a new form of society, or for example, like someone having that dream that like with a mobile phone, where someone had that dream to connect people in a faster, easier way. So the mobile phone was created, or to the laundry machine to wash your clothes. I mean, there was this dream, this wish, to have it easier to wash your clothes automatically, that you don't have to do it anymore. So there we go, we have this machine now working for us. These intentions of really wanting to create something new that would help someone, and it doesn't have to be help in that way. It can be joy, like out from a joyful thought where you think, oh, it would be so nice to have this, or to do this, or to do that, or to create that, or if there is some kind of need where that's coming up, and then you think you become creative in your mind and excited as well. Creative and excited together, and that fires, like Dr. Joe would say, it fires and wires, and then you create. And that's the natural, beautiful way of creating wealth. If you have that, and look at the ones that created that, they of course they also built it up their wealth in a way. What you send out, you get back 100, 1,000 times multiplied. So, but that's my intention for this, for you, that you don't have to do anything, but only you have to understand, let's say it that way, that wealth is absolutely coherent with being spiritual, with being in the true intention of joy. It's completely coherent, because one thing leads to the other automatically. And now listen to how Eckhart and how Abraham Hicks, E.Tolle, will explain it from their point of view. And it's very similar and very supportive. And the more you listen, of course, the more it can implement into your system and become you as well. So enjoy.
Now, what does it mean to be rich It's not what people think it is. It's not to have lots of possessions. That may be one aspect of being rich. But rich means to be in touch with the fullness of life. And the only place where you can find the fullness of life, the intense aliveness that you sense when you are present to now, that's the foundation for wealth, is to feel the fullness of life within.
Fluctuating between the path to spirituality and wanting more material wealth, are these paths mutually exclusive? If material wealth becomes your primary aim, then one could say they are mutually exclusive. But if you engage in some activity that you truly, first of all, truly enjoy the doing, and secondly, if that activity that you engage in and enjoy doing makes some contribution, some positive contribution to this world, to the planet, to other human beings, adds something valuable to life, increases perhaps consciousness on the planet, then if those two things come together, then you may find that as a byproduct of that activity, some material wealth also comes to you. And there's no reason why you cannot enjoy certain forms, material forms, whatever it is, that come to you, and you enjoy that. You may give away some of that, and that's enjoyable too. And you mean if beautiful things come or bigger things come, the enjoyment of a beautiful thing or a house or even a car is not necessarily non-spiritual. The attachment or the excessive preoccupation with it, with the attainment of it, that is not compatible. That takes you away from reality, the truth of who you are, from awakening. But you can be quite present and in touch with that which is beyond form, and nevertheless enjoy forms that come to you, not in an obsessive way of wanting to accumulate as much as possible of this or that, but enjoy what comes without identification with the forms that come, the house, the car, whatever the material thing may be. So in that sense, they are not incompatible. Renunciation, which traditionally is recommended as a path to awakening, is not, the true renunciation is not really renouncing material things, it's renouncing attachment or identification with. Because many people traditionally, in many cultures and religions, who have renounced material things didn't realize that they had not renounced desire in their mind. So they try to suppress desire, and by having no possessions and refraining, another part of course, renunciation would be celibacy, for example, refraining from sexual activity as part of renunciation, without realizing that they spend large parts of the day thinking about sex. So yeah, that outer renunciation is not really the main thing. The true renunciation is attachment to, which operates on an inner level. So you can have a very poor person being attached to their few possessions very strongly and seeking identification through that. You could have a very wealthy person not being attached to anything. Of course, the other way around can also be the case. So it's the inner that matters. Whether or not you are attached to some material thing, you may not be able to really tell it until you lose it. And so it's always a good little test when something leaves you or is stolen or breaks or destroyed. If then upset arises, anger or whatever, then, oh, I was attached, I thought I was not. But when you can let go of when things come and then things go.
So now it's a very nice shift from Eckhart's explaining of giving value to this life form that we are, and that animals, humans, the world, the environment. If we give value to that wealth will come its way anyway. And now Abraham Hicks is in a different way explaining the same thing, that yes, by sitting there and just creating it all in your mind, and that is what Abraham says is the only thing that is creating. The sitting there, doing nothing, and just focusing on it, on the wealth of all of us, of yourself. I mean, if you do it for yourself, you automatically do it for the whole society. And this is really crazy to my mind, I must say. And what she's saying, I mean, listen, it's really crazy what she's saying. But I want to give you in front already that she's saying that all you do enjoy is just expressing your thought that you had in your mind, and that is supporting, well, that's my saying, the way that you're expressing it and actually doing something after that. But that comes after the thought and the intention. You just support this intention, this thought. But you would actually not even have to express that. Just the thought and the wanting already creates. It's great how she explains it. Listen to this one. Enjoy.
You're going to come round to understanding that the only true value that you can ever reap the reward from or experience the benefit of is the value of alignment with this energy that creates worlds. What kind of monetary value do you put on that? This is a vibrational reality that you are moving into, and it is thought and alignment. Who do you think was paid for this earth that is now congealed and spinning in its orbit? Who was paid for that?
And so you don't have to do anything. You can just sit
You have
there,
to focus.
sit in a chair and focus like this, and money's going to come.
But focus is doing something. Focus is harnessing the energy that creates worlds. In other words, that's like saying you don't have to do anything. You just have to focus, and then the world will come into being. Somebody did something. Somebody focused. Focus has value. Can you get what we're getting at? Don't discount. You're saying, I'm just going to sit and do nothing. Well, focusing. You can sit and focus out of the vortex and your life won't change at all. You can sit and focus in the vortex and your life will change magnificently. The power of your mind is the only power that matters, and all the other stuff you do is just for the pleasure of enhancing what you've really done with your mind. And all the real power is the focus. And for you to call that nothing could not be further from accurate. This is our interpretation of passive income. We agree that everyone would like it, and here's what it is. Passive income is alignment with my vortex with such consistency that the abundance that I seek is bucking no resistance current at all. So it's flowing effortlessly, effortlessly, into my experience. So let's stick the word effort in here, because effort is only ever applied outside the vortex. In other words, effort is always trying to push against something. Effort is only required when there is resistance. When there is no resistance, no effort is required. So let's put the word effort in here. So when you say passive income, meaning I want income that flows without constant renewed effort. And what we're telling you is you get in the vortex where you get to reap the benefit of the dreams that you've dreamed, and in your absence of resistance, it will flow to you, the ultimate of passive income. The ultimate of passive income. But instead of calling it passive income, let's call it passive energy, which will bring passive income. All right, so we'll accept the necessity of this money. But what we're really talking about is how to line up with the flow. In other words, how do I line up with the flow? You don't have to justify why you need it. How do I line up with the flow? And the way you line up with the flow is through living life. You said, I want some for this, and I want some for this, and I want some for this. And when you ask, it is given. In other words, all cooperative components have already been assembled. So when you find a way of no longer being uncooperative, now this money flows to you in a passive, non-effort, ease and flow way. And apply it wherever you want it. It will flow. See what we're getting at? It's not about the action that you offer. It's about the alignment with the dream. It's about the alignment with the real resource. We're talking about tapping into the energy that creates worlds and flowing it through your experience. And a really good place to start is to look around at the vast differences in the way people are living their lives. The people that are working the hardest in terms of action are receiving the least. And the people who are working the least are receiving the most. How do you reconcile that? Most don't. Most just say that sucks. You just can't orchestrate it through action. It is a vibrational attraction or allowance that it is all about. What you want is to be in love. What you want is to take a walk and feel your heart soaring. What you want is for music to move through your body. What you want is to be alive and brilliant and have good timing. What you want is to be clever. What you want is to love. These are the things that you want. What you want is alignment. All the other stuff is irrelevant. And when you go for alignment first, then all the other trappings have to fill in around it. It is law. You've already created it with all that you've been living, and it's waiting for you, offering a signal, and all you have to do is hone in on that signal. And you can tell when you're honing in because you're feeling better. And you can tell when you're getting closer because you're feeling lighter. And you can tell when you've really honed in because you believe. And you can tell when you consistently honed in because you know. You just know life is good, and you just know you're stable, and you just expect it to be good. And now you're moving through life doing the action which is delicious, doing the action that supports your knowledge of well-being. In other words, you'll get tuned in and you won't cease to act. We promise you, when you're tuned into the energy that creates worlds, the inspiration to call this person and go there, the inspiration will flow through you. You'll be the busiest, most active person that you've ever known in your life. But the inspiration comes first and inspires the action. The action doesn't create.
During my life, I learned to work hard, and I felt like it was the right thing to do. And it's kind of the way that they taught me.
the more clogged your pipes are, the more effort you feel inclined to offer. The less leverage you're using from alignment, then the more effort is required. We are not challenging the idea of action at all. We are just submitting that when you reach for the high-flying disc first, that's what matters most to you, and you get good at it, then the inspired action that will come from that will feel effortless. But when you're on a lower flying disc and inspiration comes, and it will, because momentum causes the inspiration. You might feel inspired to punch somebody in the nose, but it's not from a high-flying disc. So when that inspiration to act comes, there's more effort that's involved in it, because you're needing to compensate with action for energy that's not in alignment. That was so good.
It was.
So good to understand. Esther has taken it to such an extreme these recent days that anytime anything feels like efforting, may not even be a word, but she likes it. Efforting. Every time I'm efforting, she says, I know I haven't done the energy work. If I'm efforting, I haven't done the energy work. And sometimes she's been saying to us, Abraham, I get it that you want us to be on the high-flying disc and the inspiration will come from that. Oh, how I love that feeling, she says. But there are some things that I have to do today, whether I'm on the high-flying disc or not. I got to do it today. It's due today. Whether I'm on the high-flying disc or not, I have to do it today. So what can I do to get on the high-flying disc? And then she says, and isn't that sort of efforting? If I'm doing a focus wheel to get on the high-flying disc, or if I'm deliberately thinking, and we say, that's as far as we would like you to take your efforting. So as you're reaching for this high-flying disc, what you begin to notice is that the effort factor becomes less. It doesn't feel like you're trying so hard and working so hard, because you're not needing to compensate for misalignment. And you're carried in the momentum and in the inspiration of the alignment. And then life's fun. And that's what Esther means when she says, I feel like I'm becoming a vibrational snob. It's like, I'm not willing to play unless I'm up there. If I'm up there, I'll play. But I don't want to play unless I'm up there. I don't want to think unless I'm up there. I don't want to drive unless I'm up there. I don't want to do anything unless I know that I'm up there. So, Abraham, do I effort to get up there? And we say, well, you're just going to have to work this out. After a while, you begin noticing what things take you there, and the path of least resistance gets easier and easier.
And I was having a conversation with a friend, and I said, well, it feels too easy to let go. And then I realized what I said. I'm like, why is easy bad?
Because you've been trained to believe in your effort, because you live in a world where you're translating vibrations through your senses, and you can see that the effort to move that chair from there to over there accomplishes something. So there is this effort that gives you immediate results that you begin to believe in, but there is a vibrational alignment that gives you such leveraged results that we want you to demonstrate to yourself too. We're not trying to talk you out of action, and we're really not trying to talk you out of effort. We just want you to use the energy that creates worlds in the way that you intended. Most people don't line up their energy, create a sort of mess with their thoughts, and then use their effort to try to clean up the mess. And if you're not making messes, then you don't have to clean them up. And everything that you want is all laid out for you. There is a path of least resistance that when you get on the vibe of it, it lights up, and that's not effort. It's alignment. When you get that feeling of satisfaction, or that feeling of exhilaration or elation, that feeling of wanting something, those feelings mean that you're in the right vibration and that the path is opening. And it's just going to get clearer and clearer and easier for you to see. Our favorite word is you will realize it. When you're in the vibrational wavelength of something wanted, and you've practiced the momentum of it until the path of least resistance is really flowing, your realization, and that's what that satisfaction factor is. It's a realization that you're in this moment, right here, right now, on the right path, on the right vibe, on the right thought. Letting go of unnecessary, futile effort. Letting go of the weakest course of action in order to allow the most powerful course of action. After a while, you'll begin to say, I don't have to work on this. The energy isn't in place, and any work I do is just sort of wasted effort. It's not wasted in the sense that it's going to make me get clear about what I want, but now's not the time to apply the effort. It's not the time to apply the effort. The time to apply the focus is when the energy is moving, you see. That way you direct it. In other words, it's like, do you want to get under the hood of your engine and pull the belts and pulleys and pistons? Or do you want to sit behind the seat and just guide it? Guide the speed and guide the direction. It's like that. So let law of attraction be the engine, and let the universal forces be their power, and you be the one who directs it toward what matters to you. So here's the thing that you're grappling with. I was in the midst of applying my action in the way I've learned to do, and in the way I've been rewarded by others who live in an action-based universe who like to see plenty of action. And so I was accustomed to doing that, and I've been doing that, but I was just now inspired with the realization of the futility of that. I'm beginning to understand enough about energy and alignment and vibration and momentum and movement and alignment and resonance that action began feeling increasingly resistant. I could tell I was sort of barking up the wrong tree. And so I withdrew myself from that behavior and relaxed back into an effort to line up my energy. Thought and vibration. Thought is vibration. And law of attraction brings more thought to it. So when I think this thought and I hold the frequency of it for as little as 17 seconds, another thought like it is going to join it. And you're calling that stimulation of thought. And we say yes. When you keep a vibration going, law of attraction is going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Whether it's something wanted or unwanted, it will get bigger by focus to it.
So isn't it great to understand that the creation of things only need our thoughts with the right vibration? The vibration of excitement, of creating whatever it is. And the expression of activity is just the experience that we want to have in this world in form of our human bodies and their capabilities of sensing things and of experiencing things that we created beforehand with our thoughts and feelings. That's really, really, I would say, very impressive. If we all would understand that, and we would all have schools right from the beginning and teachers educated with this knowledge, I mean, everything would change. The whole world would change. And this is what the path we are already on. I mean, all this digitalization is this way. You can, like, you have already these things you can put on your head. The electrodes sense or scan your brain and translate it into activities. You have like robots that express what you're thinking. So this really shows it in reality coming more and more. Yeah, I don't say where this is gonna go, which way and which direction and what. We have a lot of movies that already show how we think about how we think about the future. And you know, it's creation. Every movie is a creation of an idea in someone's mind, and it's coming to reality. That's many of the movies have already come to reality. So it's really amazing what a thought is causing an effect in this world, becoming expressed somewhere else to become really material. Yeah, and now I want to let you go into your day or into your evening, night, and start creating your life, your joyful life, with all this knowledge, this incredible knowledge. Have a wonderful day and time and life. Oh, and if you like to become more and more connected to all that what you're just listening to. I mean, yes, you can listen to this and it will have an impact, but to have a coaching session to really get you on that feeling, on that experience of this feeling and feeling really free for that flow. Yeah, you can really experience a coaching session with me, a free session. I'm not gonna charge anything. It's a gift from me to you for being a subscriber here on my channel. I love this channel so much because it can produce, and it does produce, such a huge approach of people. I love that I have already so many people here on my channel that I can help and how can I say, give impulses and give my creations to and enjoy them, and make your lives for a short time better, feeling better, enjoying more, and that's all that is important to all of us. To have as much time as possible where we are completely relaxed. And relaxed to me means not just sitting there and breathing. Relaxation is the state of this female, it's always given the female feature to be able to just create in our head and receive just by creating and feeling wonderful with this creational thoughts. Yeah, and the male part is always sad. It's the one that is active, that is doing. So yeah, and we all have those two parts within. Yes. So let's change a little bit more back to the female capability of creation, which is so much more lighter and more joyful. And then find a very nice coherence between this female part and the male part of activity, of experiencing with our hands, feet, mind, with all of our senses. Yes, a wonderful day, and always remember, you are the lottery win of your life.